Hi, this is Mrs. Bennett, and this is our read through for Act 1, Scene 5. In this scene, we get to meet Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth is Macbeth's wife, so it's kind of like Mr. and Mrs. Their last name is Macbeth, and so he is Macbeth and she is Lady Macbeth. So you can think of it like that. And this is her first scene. She's a very important character in the play, very complicated and interesting. When she enters, she is reading a letter. And this is a letter that Macbeth has written to her that basically explains all the things we already know from the first half of the play. But it also reveals to us some things about their relationship. So let's listen.
They met me in the day of success, and I've learned by the perfect report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with, "Hail, King, that shalt be." This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell.
So we see here that he refers to her in the letter, my dearest partner of greatness. And we notice also that he's being completely honest with Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth now knows about the witches, the weird sisters. And that is something that up to this point only Macbeth and Banquo knew about. So we hear in this letter that he really trusts his wife and that they have a partnership of a marriage. That is how he perceives it, anyway. Now let's listen to her response to this letter and her response to the prediction that he will become king.
Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily, wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou'dst have great Glamis, that which cries, thus thou must do if thou have it, and that which rather thou dost fear to do than wished should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valour of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal.
All right, so we have a couple of things going on here. First of all, we see that she believes that Macbeth is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way, to go about this the most direct way. She says, "Glamis thou art and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised." This shows, she says, shall be and promised. Those things show a great amount of confidence that it will happen, or perhaps that they will make it happen. Then she says, "But I'm worried yet." Remember, whenever we have a turn, we have to pause. She says, "You will get this, but I'm worried that your nature is too full of the milk of human kindness to get this the fastest way." She says, "You want to be great and you have ambition, but you are without the illness that should attend it. She thinks his ambition does not have the cruelty, the violence, the evil maybe that it needs to do what they have to do. You remember we talked in scene 3 about the fact that Macbeth's first response to hearing that he might be king is that he's going to have to kill Duncan to do it. Lady Macbeth says the same thing. That is also her first thought. So I should be putting these over here too. She wants Macbeth to be king. She's worried about his nature. She thinks he is too kind or hesitant to do what they need to do. And so at this point, she says, "Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits into thine ear, and chastise and correct with the power of my tongue everything that is keeping you from this crown." So she thinks she can convince him. And to do what? We can imply that she also says he needs to kill Duncan. This was her first thought as well. Now enter a messenger to bring her the tidings that Duncan is headed to Inverness.
What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou'rt mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who wert so would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who, almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than would make up his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The rape.
Notice now that Lady Macbeth is alone on stage while she's saying this stuff. So this is her soliloquy, which means that we are getting her internal thoughts. This messenger just came to say Duncan is coming, and she says, "I can't believe it's true. I was just planning this guy's murder, and now you tell me he's coming to my house? Oh, this is just too easy."
And himself is horse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breasts, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers. Wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, "Hold, hold."
All right, so now Lady Macbeth calls out to the darkness. She summons these spirits to help her. This is almost like a prayer. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. So she is basically praying and asking for help. But what is she asking for? She says she wants them to unsex her. And if we read on from there, so sex here is talking about gender. She's asking the spirits to take away the natural elements of her gender. And we'll see what she means by that. She wants to be filled from the crown to the toe with cruelty. She wants them to stop up her passage to remorse. So she wants to be unable to feel remorse or regret, is what that word means. And she says, stop the compunctious visitings of nature. Stop the natural way that I would feel so that I don't lose the ability to do this. So her fell purpose, her cruel intentions. Don't let remorse, regret, and fear stop me. She gets more specific. Come to my woman's breasts and take my milk for gall. She says, turn the breast milk that I would use to feed my babies and turn it into gall, which is bile, which is stomach acid. This is a really vivid image of what she's saying. She's saying, take anything that I would have used for nurturing or love and turn it into acid. Then, and she uses nature again, then she summons the night, asks the darkness, like her husband just did, to cover her actions. Come, thick night, and cover thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my knife see not the wound it makes. Or let heaven peep through the blanket of the dark. She needs darkness to cover her actions. So after we've seen this image of Lady Macbeth, how does she come across to you? This is a crazy thing to ask for, right? She wants to be filled with cruelty. She wants to be able to murder someone. But so I just ask you to consider, do we pray for things we already have? Typically, no. Typically, we pray for what we are weak in. And so, Lady Macbeth is not already a cruel, violent person, but she wants to be. And that is an important indicator that we need to keep an eye on. Both she and Macbeth have said they're worried about doing this, but they want to do it anyway because they are ambitious and they will do whatever it takes. All right, so now Macbeth enters and we get to see an interaction between husband and wife.
Great glams, worthy Corda, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
Dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time, bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue, look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under't. He that's coming must be provided for. And you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favour ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
All right. So very sweet reunion here, and they come together. They're glad to see each other. He lets her know Duncan is coming, and she says, when is he leaving? And he says, well, tomorrow is his plan. Her response, oh, never shall sun that morrow see, is some great foreshadowing saying, oh, he'll never leave, because she has plans for him. We then have these two great statements that are going to be basically the mantra of the Macbeths for their attempt will be for the rest of the play to beguile the time, look like the time. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. They are saying that you have to, your appearances have to cover your true intentions or your true feelings. As she warned him, she says, right now, your face, my Thane, is a book where men may read strange matters. She says, you're showing too much. You need a poker face. Right now, we can tell exactly what you're thinking. You need to look like the innocent flower, but be the evil, plotting serpent underneath it. So basically, setting up, does this remind you of a theme? That appearances can't be trusted. And then she says, leave all this business to my dispatch. I've got things under control, basically. She says, leave the rest to me. Notice that his only response is, we'll speak further. She's hit him a bit too hard coming right out of the gate with, hey, we need to cover our intentions because we're going to kill this guy tonight, right? All right. So that is our introduction to the woman that is Lady Macbeth. There is a scene of Lady Macbeth posted on Kidam that you need to go watch to get some visuals to go with this character.